This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Looking forward to the Bathurst 1000. Of course, you can see it on Foxtel, Channel 503, Fox Motorsport expert. Well, he's not just an expert, he's a legend.
Legend.
Six-time Bathurst winner, Mark Skaife, joins us now. Skaifey, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hi, Skaifey.
It's such an exciting time for you guys, isn't it?
Oh, look, it's just massive. This is, Stop the Nation Day in Australian sport, and this mountain just turns it on. It's just a wild racetrack. It's one of the great racetracks, certainly in this part of the world, but worldwide. And it's got such great tradition. It's got such, great sort of history of Ford versus Holden battles, and this weekend, the last time that we'll see Holden on track here.
Skaifey, I want to know, how does the racing industry, how are they being affected by the fuel excise situation?
We're using plenty of it, I promise you.
Do you guys you get to rock in with you got a shell card or something, Skaifey? What's the go?
He's using those receipts from Coles and Woolies.
Well, we've got all the fuel and oil companies involved in the sport. So BP is actually one of our absolute major sponsors, and obviously Shell and Mobil and plenty of others. So at the end of the day, it's a big part of our game, and it's a part of the history of the sport. Also, way back from Brock and Moffat, etc. Those BP and Shell and Mobil days have not really changed that much. They've been long-term sponsors of the sport, and they've been great partners.
Hey, Skaife, I'll get to the race in a second, but we're on a bit of a note. I was just thinking, so when you go personally to a petrol station, do you put in the 91, because I go the cheap one, the unleaded.
So you're
you
a
going high octane?
guy.
Where do you sit with this?
No, I put the 98 or whatever the best one is in. I mean, that's just a bit of my sort of automotive background, guys. So when you try to cheapskate it, and the engine stops at some point, it'll bite you. So put the best stuff in.
Skaifey, when you are filling up your car as well, do you go, oh God, these pumps are slow? Because
well, especially when we fill one of our cars in about 20 odd seconds. So
yes,
and that's 110 litres. So the fill rate is a little bit different at your local service station, for sure.
Yes.
I tell you what, though, that is a good business idea, isn't it? A petrol station, a chain called the Pit Stop.
Yes.
And basically you can fill up and get out of there in 20 seconds. How good would that be?
Well, just fast forward. When we're all in electric cars, how's that going to work, you reckon?
I know.
Yeah. The scale electrics all the way around.
Can you foresee a day when Bathurst is going to be fought out between electric cars?
That'll be a day when I've retired firmly, gone, because it'd be really cool to watch a bunch of Priuses race each other, wouldn't it?
and all the crowd trying to soak up the atmosphere and the noise, and you can't hear a thing. It's just silent on the track.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, we won't have to worry about the campsite because there'll be nobody here.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, Skaifey, well, as you know, as we've seen on the news and stuff, there were so many people coming out to see the parade that happened in town just a few days ago. And the weather for this weekend, as it has been over the last couple of days as well, looks horrendous.
Awful.
Which probably makes for you, when you're watching the race and commentating on the race this weekend, bloody exciting.
It does. I always say, if you want great supercars racing, just add water. And the whole situation of this place, because it's a mountain, and because when it does rain here, it hoses down. It's one of the wildest racetracks in the rain under any circumstances. But if it rains hard, it is a very, very taxing day for the drivers. It's not as physically demanding because the vehicle load, steering load, the G-forces aren't as high. But what actually happens as a consequence is that it's so mentally taxing, and it's a place that just bites you. I mean, Brock used to say, great racetracks have got consequences, and this is ultimately exactly that. If you make a mistake here, you hit the fence, and you hit the fence hard.
Skaifey, we're broadcasting live from Marrie Park this morning in Duncraig, where someone's going to walk away with $10,000 thanks to Pentanet. And Pentanet have actually got their Lamborghini sitting right over there, and they refuse to let me drive it.
Which is a wise decision. I think everybody agrees.
How are you? Have you ever driven a Lambo or anything like that?
I have, yeah. I mean, over the years at track drive days, there's a lot of sort of wealthy car enthusiasts that get involved in our sport. So I've pretty much driven all of those cars. It's one of those ones where it's funny when you drive a road car as one of those styles of cars, like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a McLaren or an Aston Martin or any of those things. They're fine to look at and drive them for a lap or two. But as soon as you start to torture them around a racetrack like we would torture them, they don't feel very good. They turn from a very, very fast road car to a very average track car.
Yeah, I bet they do. Well, we're looking forward to it, Skaife. It's going to be great, as I said. 5:03 all weekend. You'll be able to see the motorsport happening.
Who's going to win?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, what's your tip, Skaifey?
Oh, gee, well, if it's wet, I reckon there's probably 10 or 12 combinations, because there's some mudlarks. There's some guys that are pretty good in the rain outside of the favourite. So if you said Van Gisbergen and Tander's probably the favourite, Mostert and Fabian Coulthard probably not far behind. The Shaun V8’s Mustangs will be strong. Cam Waters in the Monster Mustang will be strong. But then, as I said, there's some mudlarks. Davey Reynolds, Andre Heimgartner, Will Brown. There's a heap of them that are very, very good in the rain.
Well, Skaifey, it's been absolutely great chatting with you this morning, and even better that while you've been talking, all I've heard is a turkey gobbling over from the petting zoo.
It's very similar to the mountain, actually.
An absolute zoo.
Good on you, Skaifey. Look forward to chatting to you soon, mate. Well done. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
West Australia.
We're the Wildcats.
We're the Wildcats.
We're coming for you.
The Wildcats are on the prowl again this season. Got off to an absolute cracking start the other day. Don't you feel like you should be singing it? You'd mouth it.
Yeah, all right, start, collaborate and listen. If you can get a Wildcats version of that, would be great.
Mitch Norton, our Wildcat, has joined us this morning here live here in Duncraig, and you've got the blanket on your knees covering those calves at the moment, Mitch.
Yeah, in the off-season, I went to Positano in Italy.
Yeah, it's all stairs.
So I want to obviously show off all the hard work I put in.
Yep.
Well, can you just actually just get up and show people how beautiful your calves are, Mitch?
The crowd is
the crowd is like, everybody look at Mitch Norton's calves.
I can hear everyone
Have
cheering.
you not seen
Thank you
anything
very much.
sexier?
I mean, they're majestic, aren't they?
Mitch, let's talk about the off-season. Hopefully we'll get to the basketball in the next half an hour or so. But you're over in Italy having a ball to start with.
Yeah. So first real holiday overseas with Sasha. So it was some ups and downs.
I was going to say, did you travel well together? Because it's challenging.
Traveller.
Yeah.
So I like things to be on point and on time.
Yes.
And in Italy, it doesn't necessarily go to plan most of the time. So she was very patient with me, which is I'm very thankful for. And
Still together?
We are.
What was your biggest stress? Talk about the stresses point.
Probably everyone warning me about pickpockets over there.
Oh.
And how, they'll offer their babies to you, and then when you grab their baby, boom.
Yeah.
Something's gone from
Did
your
it
pocket.
happen?
So
Did anything remotely close to that happen?
Nothing happened like that at all. So
But you were aware and looking
fully
up.
alert.
I didn't sleep for 3
Like a
weeks.
meerkat.
Did you think everyone was trying to trick you?
100%, without a doubt.
Hey, Mitch, one of my biggest concerns, and equally to my missus's concern, is what are we going to talk about if we went away for an extended period of time?
Oh.
I think we've only got a few days in it, like 3, before we'd be sitting across from each other and just going, what's this
I
all about?
always think about that as well. I think married couples, right? And congratulations. I mean, stop rubbing your relationship in my face. But, don't you run out of things to talk about?
That's why they have kids. So then they can just talk about the kids.
Yeah, no phones. We didn't have a SIM card over there, so it was only Wi-Fi. So there was a couple of quiet, I guess, really
Companionable
quiet
silence.
conversations at lunch.
You know what I found when we've travelled? All of a sudden, you run into somebody. You don't know them from bar, and all of a sudden, you just leech onto this other couple so you can have a conversation.
And then other couples I'll get these freaks off of us.
It happened a lot on the train.
I was going to say, that always happens with people that have been together for just a little bit too long.
You also played for the Boomers, Mitch.
Yeah, I did. It was good to put the green and gold back on. We went to Bahrain, which is a country I don't think I'd ever have on my bucket list, but I've been there. Extremely hot.
So we're talking Middle East.
Is it nice? Is it not? How would you describe it?
It is. I think it's probably how Dubai was maybe 20 years ago.
Early Dubai vibes.
When we say extremely hot, what are we talking?
We're talking about 43, and it cooled down for us. It was 52 the week before we got there, so that was nice.
If you were there when it was 52 and you're playing outside, would you have to play?
Well, I don't think we'll be playing outside.
No.
Okay, so there's no playing outside. It's all inside, all
as soon as we
aircon.
arrived, our host said, whatever you do, don't step foot outside because
Okay.
it'll zap your energy.
Oh, God, how lovely to be here.
So is it just aircon everywhere? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's also happening with the World Cup in Qatar later this year. That's exact. They built the stadiums to have mad aircon. Just everything's locked in, so the players can play.
Because otherwise it's unbearable.
Yeah.
And then you see the locals walking around the streets, like, you know, wearing like a light sweater. Are you insane?
They're like, oh, well, it's winter, you know.
It's wild, yeah.
Hey, the Cats have got off to a good start this year. I know
Yes.
there's one game in, but we were talking a bit about the NBL Blitz, which was good up in Darwin as well. But you seem like you've got a good combination going, and new coach John Riley.
Yeah, you know, JR's come in and he provides a lot of energy. Right from the get-go, he coaches exactly how he played, I guess. A lot more defensive orientated than what he was as a player.
Yeah.
Well, that suits you. You're good on the D.
Exactly, yeah. Defense, yes. Yeah, so he's been great. Obviously, the new additions we brought in, the imports and Corey Webster, have fit in seamlessly.
I'd imagine with all the changes so quickly, and you've got to get it together really fast, you don't know what the personalities are going to be like, whether they gel in this kind of outlook.
Yeah, which I think is why the blitz is so important. You know, you go away somewhere like Darwin, again, it's extremely hot, so you're around your teammates for a week, living in each other's pockets. So
getting to know some of them.
Unfortunately, was roommate with Luke Travers. And all I had to do was hear about him getting drafted.
Oh, yeah, I'm drafted to the NBA.
Hey, can you brush my hair, Mitch?
Speaking of brushing hair, what about Brody Manick? What a unit he is.
Yeah, glorious hair.
Isn't it?
It just
it's something
flows.
else.
It flows, and his beard.
Do you touch it a lot?
I try to.
Some
He's
light
very-
stroking.
he's very
Just look at his
sensitive,
eyes and just run your fingers.
Yeah, I try to, but it's very sensitive about it.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's going to be a great. So you must be feeling pretty positive about the way this season's going to go. I know it's a long time, but your body in particular to get through this year.
Yeah, body's feeling really good. Had a bit of a slip in pre-season, but that's all good now, and put a lot of work in the off-season, not only on my calves, but on the rest of my body, to make sure that it's fit
Get
and
your
healthy.
gear off, show everyone.
So yeah, no, feeling fit and ready to go, and this group is very exciting, and as long as we focus on how we play as a team, I think that's going to be a big key.
Hey, Mitch, we were really proud of Greg Heyer going over to the Commonwealth Games and getting a silver medal in 3x3. Have you tried 3x3 yet?
For like 3 minutes.
It's insane. Is it insane?
It's a different ball. It's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
Super physical, which is why it suits Greg and Jesse. But yeah, the fitness is crazy. We've done it in the pre-season for, to get a bit of a burn.
Yeah.
Get the heart rate up, and Bryce Cotton's definitely not a fan of it. Because when Kevin White was with us, he found a way to rig the system. So he'd just let Bryce go to the basket and run to the three-point line.
Yeah, right.
Shoot a three. So that's obviously worth double the amount of points.
Yes, of course.
So Bryce wasn't happy because that's not real basketball.
No.
So yeah, it's very tough, but I'm super proud of obviously Greg and Jesse to go over there and get a silver medal.
Isn't it
it's
amazing
amazing.
as
It's
well
just
that is where you can be an older player and you keep your career going? Because there was several of the players that were like 36 years old.
And Jesse's 72, so it's amazing. Still playing.
Fantastic, Mitch. Well, we look forward to a massive season from the Wildcats. Can't wait to keep catching up with you along the journey. This has been a great area to bring your dog, but you didn't. Anyway.
I see a couple of Norton jerseys out there though, so I like that.
Oh, the number 8.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, there actually is one.
Oh my God! Did he give that to you before you? Did he meet you in the car park and
are
make
you
you wear
related?
that?
What's
Sweetheart,
happening?
are you okay? If he's harassing you, we can come. We send help.
Did they run out of Bryce Cotton jerseys?
Oh,
What's
honey,
happening?
it's okay. Don't talk to strangers.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.